If you're watching my videos, if you have seen at least one of my videos recently, you probably noticed that I always wear this little thing, this necklace. And today, what changed is that I also have this. And I don't know if you can see on the camera, but basically this is a necklace with Jesus on the cross. Yeah, my grandma gave it to me, and today I wanted to tell you a story, pretty fresh one, because it happened 4 days ago, on how basically Jesus crushed my dreams only to teach me a lesson. And even it wasn't even one lesson, he taught me multiple ones. So to start, I like a month ago, something like that, more than a month ago right now, I started my driver license course. And so I had to I first had to pass the theory part. So I just did it because I don't know how does that look in USA, for example, but here in Poland we just have like a quiz with 32 questions and like ABC answers, and that was pretty easy to handle. And after that I signed up to a driving school, and I started doing like the practical things. So I started learning how to drive a car. And so yeah, it went pretty well and stuff. And because I had a lot of free time, it actually went fast as well. And I thought at first I would pretty much suck at this because I didn't understand anything, or I didn't really knew what I was doing. But still I managed to learn a lot, and I consider myself a good driver right now. And yeah, it was really cool experience. And so, even because I was learning so fast, I also managed to like practice more different maneuvers with car. Simply, and it was something that my instructor told me, that I was just learning so fast that I did pretty much more than an average student of his. So that was like really cool experience. And when I was driving with him, I always did everything right. Like it's obviously when I had to do something new, well, then I needed him to tell me how to exactly do it and stuff. But other than that, I was really like confident in my skills, and he didn't really had to he didn't really had to pay attention because I might do something bad with this car. He didn't basically had to worry about me. Yeah, and I was really confident. And so 4 days ago I had my driver license exam, which, as you probably know, if I would pass, I would have my driving license. I know that you probably know right now what happened, but even though I felt confident and stuff, I decided that the day before I wanted to come to this exact place where we are recording right now. Jesus Christ, these mosquitoes are getting on the camera. It's so freaking annoying. Yeah, and so the day before my exam, I decided to come here, and I wanted to basically talk to Jesus and ask him to be with me. And it's not like obviously I could go to church and stuff, but you know, I really like to pray when I'm alone, and that's simply because, like, I feel that when I'm alone, it's like the most honest um, dialogue with Jesus that I can have in my life. So that's like, you know, I, there's no this kind of feeling that someone may hear me or anything like that, that someone may think something about me. That there's nothing like that. And so I wanted to be like totally honest, absolutely honest, uh, with Jesus and with myself. So I came here and I started praying, and I was like, I asked Jesus to help me go through this course, because obviously I was stressed as fuck. So I asked him to be with me, to help me, and I told that obviously if I fail, I will live, and like nothing will happen, because it won't kill me, basically. So I told that, but I also told that, but you know, Jesus, that deep in my heart it really is important for me to pass this exam, because it would be like really nice achievement. And I also had in my head that those scenarios, like for example, the entire thing, like I got money for this course from my grandma for my birthday, and so she was like, I'm giving you this money and you cannot spend it on anything else than your driving license. So I was like, okay, as you wish. So you know, I had these different imaginary scenarios, like for example that I'm you know, getting in my father's car and I'm driving to my grandma and I'm calling her to go out and I'm taking her for a drive, or you know, that I'm sending the picture of past exam to my friends, and I'm telling them that on the weekend we are going to drive somewhere, and because we also have this plan to, once I get this driving license, that we'll just go and, you know, put on some old school music and listen to that, you know. And I had all of these different scenarios in my head, and I was like, damn, it would be so cool for this to actually happen. And I told, but Jesus, you know that deep in my heart, even though I will, like, not passing this exam won't kill me, I would still love to pass it on my first try and, like, you know, get out of this entire stress thing, and you know, and just be able to make this dream, because it was actually a dream, happen. And I was like, you know, the thing about praying when you're alone and you can really speak from the bottom of your heart is that you're so honest. I don't really think if anyone else can relate to that. If yes, then let me know in the comments, but I can literally cry when I'm praying alone. And that's not because, you know, I feel embarrassed or anything, but that's because I feel that what I'm saying right now is so honest and is so like from the bottom of my heart. Like it's exactly what I would say if Jesus was physically standing in front of me. So yeah, I just feel that it's the best prayer that I can basically give to Jesus. And yeah, so I had this prayer, and what I did when I got back home, I obviously, like, you know, I had made myself a tea and I went to sleep, basically. That's all I did. And on the next day, well, I was woken up because of the stress that I felt. And so yeah, I woke up and I prepared myself. I had like an hour long drive to the place where I would have my exam. So I prepared myself, and what I did was I took this and I wore it, because I kind of like thought, I had this thought in my mind, but you know, if I have Jesus physically with me, then he will be like, you know, he actually will be there and stuff. You probably know what I have in mind. And so I wore that, and yeah, I drove to this place with my father, and well, I don't know how this exam looks like in UK or USA, but here in Poland it's like you have the first task is, and it is to show like this guy two different elements in the car, and then you have to like drive back and forth in like an L shape basically. So yeah, the first task, it went pretty much easy for me, but you know, it was like 20 seconds to do that, to show those two elements. And then I had to, you know, he was like, okay, sit in the car and just drive and show me what you can. And I was like, okay, no problem. So I did that. I drove you know, to one side, and then I had to go back basically with the using this Jesus Christ, how do you call it? I'm not prepared. You know, basically not kind of, I had to go back, not like driving and like going with the front of the car, but you know, just, oh my god, I forget these words. You know what I mean. So yeah, I had to do that, and I was like, okay, no problem. I had this schema given by the instructor, and so it was like when I was practicing it, it was every time I did it well. And so I was like, okay, easy thing, nothing to be scared about. And so yeah, I'm doing it, you know, and I'm checking if I'm not hitting anything from the one side, from the second side, and it's like everything looking great. And yeah, I just you know, set up my car so in a way that I only had to stop in the right place. That was all I had to do, and the first task would be totally complete. So yeah, I was, you know, going slow and stuff, and then I see him in the mirror that he's coming up to me, and he told me that I kind of stepped with the car. I stepped with the car on one of the things that I wasn't supposed to step on, you know. Jesus Christ, I actually don't know how to say it better, but I hope you know what I mean. Yeah, so that basically meant that I failed. And when I checked how much time it took me to fail this exam, it was like 3 minutes. So I was there, and it wasn't even, I wasn't even sad at that moment, because like I couldn't believe that I was able to screw it up so bad. Like I was like, wait, so that's over. I was stressing myself out for the entire week, especially yesterday. I came here and I prayed and stuff, and I took Jesus physically with me, and I was stressing all the way here, and I drove here 1 hour, and I had to get up early and stuff, only to be here for 3 minutes and fail. And you know, I had these different thoughts in my like I was already going back to my dad's car to go back home, and I had all of these thoughts that well, I now have to tell everyone that I failed, and now I will have to spend additional money for the second try. And then I was, one of the best students on the driving, like this driving course, and still I failed so miserably. And I was like, bro, I can't believe it. You probably know this feeling when you feel like it's not even real. So that was exactly what I felt at that moment. And like, I thought to myself, well, Jesus, why? Like, what did I do wrong? And I was thinking basically, and so it was a short distance between this exam place and my dad's car, so I didn't have that much time to think about it. But what I felt at that moment was like a little. I mean, I didn't feel it like literally. I'm talking, you know, just so you can kind of understand what I mean. But I kind of felt as if Jesus was watching me at that moment and giggling at me. So I was like, well, I do not understand anything right now, because not only I failed on something that was basically I was doing it right every single time when I was practicing. So not only that, but also Jesus is laughing at me. At least that was what I felt. I was like, bro. So I got to my dad's car, and I was like, well, it's over. It's over. It's end. We can go back home. And he was like, no way. I was like, well, yeah. And yeah, so we got back home, and on my way back home, for the first couple of minutes I was like so depressed, because, like, as I said, it was the easiest thing possible, and I paid to be there only for 3 minutes, and it's not that cheap. I can't tell you right now, because I mean, it's 222 Polish currency. In dollars it will be somewhere like $50+, which is not probably a lot for you, but for someone like me in Poland it is pretty much a week of living, so, but that's irrelevant right now. And like, I was, I wanted to say something, but I couldn't. I really was like confused about all of this situation. And I thought, well, as I said, for the first couple of minutes I was really sad about all of this, but then I started thinking, because it's not like, well, I can be sad, but it's not my thing to be sad all day, when I'm sad, when I'm really like sad, like seriously, I allow myself to be sad only for like an hour max. Then I am just trying to figure out what is exactly happening. And so for the first, I think it was like 20 minutes, I wasn't really thinking about anything. I was just staring at the road in front of me, and just basically staring at my environment. And after that, I started actually thinking what happened, and then I understood what happened, why I felt like Jesus was laughing at me. So, first of all, the first lesson that I learned was that I didn't go to church for a long time, and I am not like grateful. I am not thinking about Jesus that much during my normal day, let's call it that way. However, when I'm in need of something, then I am thinking about him. And it's not what faith is about. At least I think that's not how Jesus would like me and anyone in the world to perceive him. So what I mean by that, I don't think that Jesus would like us to, only come to him once he is like needed, once we actually need his help. He would probably like us to remember about him and just talk to him every day. Not like that something important is coming up and like, oh yeah, actually Jesus exists, so maybe I should go and talk to him. I don't think that's the point of faith, and I don't think that's something that he died for on the cross. You know what I mean? So that was the first lesson, but I cannot expect him, I mean I can, because he loves every single living person, and that as well, the same. And so I could expect him to help me, but because he loves me so much, he decided to teach me a lesson, and fortunately I understood this lesson. So it's like he doesn't want me to talk to him only when I need him, but also during my normal day, like having even a simple thought about him and just remembering that I am here because of him. Only that, which is not a lot to do, I think he is much better than just going through your day and not really thinking about Jesus at all, and then coming to him and asking for help once you need something. You know what I mean. The second lesson was that I was trying all the time to basically pass this exam and to be able to drive a car, but at the same time it's like I don't even have a car. I mean, I could borrow my father's car and all of that stuff, but that's not the same. And I was like trying to make my business work and stuff, but I always kind of postponed different tasks. So instead of doing the cold outreach myself, I wanted to always find someone else to do that for me, all of that stuff. So I was like, I understood at that point that it's not a bad thing that I don't have a car, but what is a bad thing is that I am trying so hard to get something which will not be that useful for me, and it was like a sign for me to start like working on the business that could actually get me this car. And so while I'm doing this YouTube channel, it is not my main business that I'm trying to do. In fact, it is not a business at all, this YouTube channel. This is my playground, basically, where I can speak about different things and not edit this stuff. If you watch my videos, you probably know, and I don't want to repeat myself. So I understood this, but bro, like, why do I even care that much about a driving license where at first it will be so cool to have it, but then since I don't have a car, it will be just frustrating for me that I can't, basically, I have the privilege to drive a car and stuff, but I don't even have a car. And as I said, like asking your dad to borrow his car, it's not the same, and it's not like what we all want. And yet I'm not even working as much as I could in order to get this car for myself. So that was like, and at that moment when I was like, when I thought that, I felt again as if Jesus was like, exactly, you guessed it right. So he was like laughing exactly at this, but I care about something so much, even though I don't have like the proper situation right now to be caring about it so much, if you know what I mean. I hope that you do. Yeah, so that was my second lesson, and you know, the final lesson was that it, like, all my behavior about this exam and about all of that was, it made me like a hypocrite. I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. Hypocrite, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about. That's the most important thing. So what I mean by that, I told you at the beginning of this video that I was the best, I mean one of the best students in the course, in the group, you know. And even my instructor told me that I did more than all other students are doing on the average, which meant, in other words, that I was kind of special in that group, you know what I mean. Then I wanted to pass this exam on my first try, which again would make me special, because it is special to pass this exam on your first try when you don't know what to expect, you know. So it is special, it is something special that you can later on tell your friends about, that you basically did it on your first try and stuff. All of that made me feel like I was special when I'm not. And when I was sitting in this car and on my way back home, I thought, I was like, again, confused, but this time I was confused at my own stupidity, because literally a few days ago I posted a video titled "You Are Not Special" or something like that, where I told that no one is special and that I can build myself to be special in some regards, but no one is special, and that was the main message of that video. So I posted it, I myself went to this area, and somewhere there I recorded that video and I posted it myself. I did all of that myself, yet I forgot about it, and I thought I was special enough to pass this exam, and that I was so special that I deserved, and it was like granted for me to pass this exam on my first try. And that way I became a hypocrite. You know, I told on YouTube that no one is special, yet I felt like I was special and I deserved to pass this exam on my first try. You see? So these are the lessons that I kind of like learned from Jesus by this one single event in my life, and that's why I felt like it was a canon event, because from now on I think you will always see, if not this particular necklace, you will always see me wearing some kind of Jesus related accessories, because you know, that's the one way of showing that I do remember him, and also that's something that can help me think about him every single day. Because you know, when I have this habit of putting this necklace on me, of wearing it, it's like I already see him, and that's one of the first things I see in the morning. I see Jesus, and I already remember about him, and I think about him. Yeah, so that's the video. If you watched to the end, let me know by typing mosquito, because that's what is currently sitting, and okay, it flew away. Yeah, thank you for watching. That's another long video. Sorry for that, but it's long because I know it's not entertaining to watch videos like that. Anyways, I'm out. Thank you for watching.